why it's really important to have a plan and understand what your goals are.
In fact, my camel out there is suffering right now with a broken back.
So I actually found Pepe when it was only a couple of hours old, and I'm like, oh, this is a funny meme.
Oh my god.
Yo! Who is this Degen?
The old man is swing trading over years at a time. And it's like, that's where the real money is made.
The answer is a permanent loss. With single-sided staking, you don't have to worry about a permanent loss.
Really, at the end of the day, it's just the matter of a macro market. It's just what happens.
If you're aware, if you're disciplined, you can hone that into further financial growth.
Financial freedom, so we can actually live life and not have to be constantly living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, more or less, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, you caught me in the middle of taking my jacket off. Damn it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crypto degenerates, ducks and squirrels, welcome to this here special edition, special guest episode of the Degen Roundtable. I am your host, Will Stevenson. Today, we are going to be covering a member of the community. Some of you guys know him as Ceno. He is a meme coin and trader and investor extraordinaire, and Agent J is going to be delving into a lot of the specifics on how, like, setting up the interview for how Ceno is able to have done such an excellent and fantastic job doing all the meme coin stuff going on. So that's what we're going to be covering today. Again, I'm Will Stevenson. I'm going to be your host for tonight. For those of you guys that don't know me, I'm an iron worker that travels the states, and in my free time, I talk about cryptocurrency and self-improvement with these fantastic assholes, and also assholes such as yourself in the audience. And we really appreciate each and every one of you guys being here. For the rest of the panel, I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to you. Why don't you go ahead and give yourself a brief introduction for the folks at home who have never seen you before, just a little 1 or 2 sentence of who you are, and then tell us what's new and exciting with you. We're going to start off with our fantastic special guest tonight, Mr. Ceno. Broski, who are you, and what's new and exciting with you? Also, you're still muted, just so you know. Got him!
Good catch, good catch. Yeah, I'm just a filthy, degenerate meme coin gambler. You guys might know me if you're active in the Telegram community. I just recently found out that I was upgraded from a second generation to a first generation Degen in the green room. So pleasantly surprised there. How is everybody?
Oh, we are doing fantastic. We're doing fantastic. Mr. Agent J, who are you, and what is new and exciting with you?
Well, I am, as you know, the resident great value technical analyst here over at the Degen Roundtable, where I look at the charts, I read the tea leaves, and tell you which direction the market is going to go. Not financial advice. Aside from that, I do a lot of work in the Telegram, doing streams there as well, doing TA. And then that's basically it, man. That's what I do. I like to do TA. I like to read the charts. I like to look at the markets. I like to try and interpret and give myself and the rest of the community an edge in which direction they're going to go. So that's what I do. That's what I do best. That's my wheelhouse. But certainly excited to be here and interviewing Ceno, because he is certainly, for those of you who are active in the community, you have probably seen how my not so subtle statements about how Ceno is probably one of the best meme traders, if not the best meme trader in the community, and one of the best meme traders I have ever met. And I don't want to underscore that, because a lot of people think that just because you're a meme trader, it's only about fundamentals and narrative. I'm here to tell you that Ceno is also very active in the charts, and that he does a lot of work in order to be able to identify these altcoin, these meme coins, and to be able to take advantage of those plays, right? So a lot of good things to talk about on the stream. So certainly looking forward to it. Nate, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, working really hard. Yeah, my name is Nate McGettit. I am the Ascending Man with Degen Roundtable. And yeah, I'm kind of the guy who just sort of goes around into all the different communities. I'm looking for great value coins that, number one, are cheap. Number two, more than likely have a chance to go up because they're backed by a lot of people, a good community who really are all about, hey, the crypto way. And so, yeah, that's ultimately what I do. I'm also kind of a money printer type of guy. I try and set up as much yielding plays as possible for myself, because being busy, I don't really have time, unfortunately, to be sitting on the charts all day long. Sorry, I'll just leave that one to Agent J over here. With that being said, yeah, I'm a meme collector. I'm not necessarily a meme trader though, because like I said, I'm a little bit too busy to be sitting on those charts watching it. And I have had my own little dabbling in that over in Solana. And when Ceno starts talking here, I think I know what he's talking about. However, that being said, like I said, it's all about great value, and that's what I'm looking for. So great to be here, guys.
Excellent. Thank you, Nate. And for the folks at home who also don't know, we also have a person in the background. We seldom shout her out often enough, but for those of you guys that don't know, we have Mrs. McGettit as our producer, our fantastic camera switcher who brings up your guys' comments and does all of the stuff behind the scenes, makes our thumbnails, does all of our socials on oh man, I can't think of the name. It's X, not Twitter. I keep wanting to say Twitter. You guys all know it as Twitter, but she does all the posting on Twitter. She does all the posting on Instagram. She does all the posting on Facebook, maintains all that stuff, does the email, everything in the background. Big shout out to Mrs. Producer, Mrs. McGettit. So thank you very much for everything that you do. And with that being said, we're actually going to transition into one of the best parts of the show, the chat motherfucking shout outs, where we shout out all of you guys who want to spend your valuable time chit-chatting with us whilst we are up here chit-chatting with each other. So Mrs. Producer, if you would be so kind as to go ahead and pull up our first chat shout out. It is from Mr. Vets in Crypto with the bang bang. Vets in Crypto, good to see you, amigo. A good friend of mine, fellow Marine Corps veteran, Semper Fi, Shepherd's Pie, and 7-Fit Elephants to you too, sir. We love to see you over here, Vets. Welcome to the stream. Glad that we could have you in here today. Next up for the chat shoutouts, and by the way, Mrs. Producer, I can't see when we've run out, so I'm just basically gonna go until Nate. Whenever we run out of chat shoutouts, just give me the thumbs up or the OK symbol visually, so that way I can see. But next up for chat shoutouts, we've got Pulse Jitsu with Fast Abdul. Is this guy Borat? Oh, fucking A.
Apparently, Fast Abdul's a fan too, because of the very next one, he's like, "I love your work, Borat."
Oh my God, Fast Abdul.
Ain't that light skin, bro. Come on now.
Fast Abdul over here.
I definitely do not look like Borat. I definitely do look like Austin Rivers. If one of you guys wants to screen share and pull up Austin Rivers, NBA player, he's my body double.
That is awesome. I have no idea who Austin Rivers is. I'm on mobile right now, unfortunately, so I can't pull up anything. But that's.
I told Ceno that he reminded me of Victor Wembanyama.
Victor.
He's also NBA. He's probably like one of the best NBA players right now. So he's a monster.
Oh, okay.
He's another light skinned basketball player.
Excellent. You ain't kidding. Holy crap! You look just like him.
That is hilarious. This is excellent. All right, guys. Well, past Fast Abdul's jokes. Thank you, Fast Abdul, for joining us, by the way. Next up in the chat shoutouts, we've got Tam, #1 cheerleader in the Hex, Pulse chain, and cryptocurrency space in general, saying, "What's up, fam? What is up with you, Tam? Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome to the show." We love having the fam in the chats and in the comments. Next up for the chat shoutouts, we've got Pulse Fujitsu with Fast Abdul again. Agent J appears to be totally hairless. Impressive. Yes, Agent J. I forgot. I think it was the last stream that we did, where it was myself, Agent J, Josh, and Zenith. And Zenith was the only one that had any sort of hair on top of his head, because me, Jay, and Josh are all bald. We gotta. I don't know. Maybe at the next meetup, we'll trick Zenith into going completely bald, or maybe, I don't know. Maybe Fast Abdul can bribe Zenith into going bald, and maybe Nate as well. We'll see. Pretty soon we'll have a full panel.
Maybe I'll just share my hair with you guys. Here you go.
There you go.
I'll hand it over to you guys.
Yeah, I certainly need it. I've got whatever the heck it is that makes my hair fall out. But yeah, excellent. Good to see you again, Mr. Fast Abdul, and your excellent comments. For the next bit of chat shoutouts, it looks like we have. Is that the last one, Nate? Oh, that's the last one. Look at that. Me being an excellent host and paying attention to what's going on. This is the benefit of being on mobile, guys, is I only have one screen to look at. So it's like, well, everything's a surprise. So excellent. So that does it for chat shoutouts, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and especially those of you guys that show us your love, either in the chats or in Telegram after the show, or here live appearing on stream, like Mr. Ceno is now ready to share his knowledge. So with that, Agent J, I'm going to pass it on over to you, broski, and let's get this interview rocking and rolling here. Let's take this stroll.
Yeah, let's do it. So before we deep dive into the details of Ceno's meme coin thesis, give the folks a little bit of a background, man. How did you get into crypto? Whoa, sorry, my Asian just crypto. You'll have to forgive me, right? My accent comes out every now and then.
You are forgiven.
I have not been able to suppress it, even after being a United States citizen for more than 2 decades now. How did you get into crypto? Out of all of the investment vehicles that you could have possibly chosen, why choose the black sheep, man?
Yeah, I've actually told this story once before on the platform. So many years ago, 2021 or so, a female friend of mine, she one day told me that she was investing in this Bitcoin thing. And my origin story is one of reckless abandon, where I just kind of threw $600 into Bitcoin and kind of forgot about it for, I think, probably bought in May, June of 2021, and then came back in November. And the $600 was like just shy of $1,200. And that's kind of what put it on the radar for me. And, it kind of made me pay attention. Like, okay, I need to pay attention and figure out what are the mechanics really behind this thing. And then, fast forward about a year or so, I found our mentors, Charlie and Miguel, and the crypto mindset course. And yeah, the rest is history. Just never look back. And, here I am, a degenerate meme coin trader. Time flies, huh?
Wait, so was the Q4, Q1 your first CMC?
So my first CMC was Q2 of 2023. Yeah.
Okay. The one immediately following. Okay. So for the folks at home who don't know, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our good friends, Charlie and Miguel. Charlie is from Cultivate Crypto and Miguel is from Dollar Cost Crypto. Those are 2 channels you guys can check out on YouTube. If you're totally new to the crypto space, they offer a course every quarter. Sometimes they combine 2 quarters into a super course, which is what Nate was just mentioning. And then the course that immediately followed that is the one that Zenith, or excuse me, not Zenith, Ceno hopped in. And they offer some excellent teaching. They do webinars. They do little private streams. They have pre-recorded videos and stuff. And they walk you through basically from zero to hero. Not zero to hero, from like 0 to 1 in the cryptocurrency space, teaching people how to basically take their first steps and doing some like counseling. And they've also built a great community over there. So big shout out to Charlie and Miguel over there with the crypto mindset course, the CMC, which is the combination of their 2 efforts, because they do their individual thing when they're not doing the class together. So that's for the folks at home who have never heard of any of these gentlemen or never heard of anything that they do. That's a little bit of background there to fill in the not the holes in Zenith's story, but for the people that just don't know things. So that's all I wanted to say there. Yeah, the knowledge gap. Thank you. Yes, I'm
for sure.
Words.
I'd highly recommend that anybody who wants to get into something, with as much fluctuation and volatility as a space like this, that you invest in high quality information. And I mean, really for whatever endeavor that you get into, right? But especially, like I said, something with this level of volatility, probably a good idea to get you some training wheels, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Do you know what? One last thing I want to throw in there too. That Q2 one that you were in, that was your first one. That was actually the birthplace, like the youngest birthplace of Degen Roundtable, right?
Right.
And all the Generation 1 Degens, which is you, Ceno.
Yes.
Yeah. No. And it's actually my only CMC. It's actually my only CMC. And I pulled up at the perfect time because I've got some high praise for you guys, and I think that a big part of the reason I didn't feel the need to take another CMC after that was just being attached to a community like this. Like I said, just seeking out high quality information, staying attached to it. I was like, okay, like I'm good. You guys are all plugged into different corners of the crypto industry. So yeah.
Thank you, man. That certainly does means a lot, especially from coming from somebody who's obviously successful, right? To give the daps, that's very much appreciated. I like when you said that your journey into crypto was something of a reckless abandon, because it tells me that your personality type is someone who, it's a personality type that falls right in line with kind of this degenerate ethos that the crypto bros have been known for, right? So I think there's a reason why you kind of just fell into it and felt right at home. So that's pretty neat, man.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm a complete degenerate. I try to be calculated with my degeneracies.
Yes.
But
yes.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, right? It, at least from our initial meeting, right? It wasn't, and correct me if I'm wrong, of course, but it didn't seem like your initial foray into crypto was specifically into meme coins, right? So the first question that I want to ask you is that, like, how did you get into trading meme coins in general, right? Because it didn't seem like that you set out initially specifically to trade meme coins. So how did you fall into the meme coin space? Like, can you take us through that process?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so I was originally very kind of snobbish around the idea of meme coins. Almost had like, I was, like I said, my first CMC was in 2023 Q2, so that took place in like May, and then when was the Pulse chain launch? You guys help me out.
That was during that course.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was the first
right?
couple of weeks, but I was wondering like if somebody had the date or something.
Not the exact date, but it was in March.
March, like, yeah, so like the first 3 weeks of the course, Pulse chain launched. I had kind of already taken like the Hex pill, if you will. And yeah, I thought that my ticket was going to be, getting Hex. It's got a staking function, getting Ethereum, it's the silver to Bitcoin's gold. And I thought that my idea was that I would buy coins that provided value through utility, and I kind of, as the cycle has gone on, have adapted to coming around to the idea of meme coins. Like my initial philosophy was like utility over memes, and I didn't really understand that the value proposition of memes is actually culture, right? And so I didn't understand like how memetics tied into this, and I, around that time, around like a little bit after, I got into the CMC. My first ever like degenerate play was like copping a huge bag of Pepe, and probably
Same.
Yeah, it was.
That was mine too.
So this is like May 2023. This is like maybe a month or like a month and a half as Pepe starts cooking. And so at this time, I probably have a portfolio allocation of like a third ETH, a third Hex, and like a third Pepe, without like disclosing any dollar amounts. And I still had that utility over memes thesis at that time, and I wrote a nice little pump in Pepe, and I sold it towards the end of the year and just rotated everything into Pulse chain. And in hindsight, like, let's just say that I wish I had held the Pepe and been like kind of rotating now. But yeah, that's kind of how it was kind of like an adaptation, right? And not an intention, so to say.
Yeah. One of the, I think a lot of us come to the realization in the very same way that you do, right? Because in the beginning of my own personal journey, and Nate and Will, please contribute to this if you guys have similar experiences. But in the beginning, I was also very utility focused, right? Because I thought to myself, well, if this is a good, because coming from a sales background, right? If you create something with utility, and Richard Hart, right? He always talks about product market fit. The reason why a lot of software companies, for example, like Apple, like Google, like Microsoft, the reason why they make so much money is because they create utility out of the software, right? And not only is that something that's scalable, but it's something that people use every single day, right? Day to day, week to week, month to month. And so that's kind of the same ethos that I adopted in crypto. And that's not to say that utility doesn't have any place, but the more I stayed in the space and the more that I paid attention, the more I realized kind of the same thing that Niles did, right? And that is memes, despite how you may feel about them, the value is in the culture, right? And culture persists throughout the entire world, right? Just as much as software does, right? So there's significant utility in the culture, and I think also, correct me if I'm wrong, Niles, that culture is a little bit easier to understand than utility, which means that
100%.
So even if the meme coin, and most of them, right, don't have any utility, right, people are more likely to jump into the meme coins because it's part of the culture, right? It's part of community. It's something that they can share with their friends. It's something that they can laugh about, right? You mentioned memetics. It's something that stays and takes up space up here in the brain and in the hearts of people. Would you say, would you agree with that?
Yeah, completely. I think you're wrong. I think that meme coins do have utility. I think that, and this, I'm biting this from your boy Luke Belmar, but
that's your boy.
Said,
that's your mate.
He said, your mate. He said that the ultimate utility is number go up. Yes. Right. And I sat and I really chewed on that one. This is, towards the end of 2023 or so. He tweeted that. And I kind of chewed on that one. I was like, yeah, he's kind of right. Like, who really cares? We're here speculating on frog and dog and cat and fart coins and like Mog coin. And I actually sent a hilarious meme to Dace earlier. It says like, it's like a picture of it's a picture of Pepe. He's like got a book open and like some glasses on, so he looks smart. And he's like, it's like, hello IRS, my client. Let me mute TG. But it's like, hello IRS, my client has has invested $7,000 into ComRocket and got like a 6,000% return. And then he took the profits and put them into like NFTs, right? And like the project rugged, can he like count the minting and the gas fees against his net losses, or like against his net gains? Like, but I think that's hilarious. And it's right on topic in terms of memes. It's like, that's the space that we're in. Like, it's absolutely, like, stuff here is like batshit crazy. So do you really expect like the typical, like TradFi perspective to, really apply?
Yeah, certainly it doesn't. And you're certainly correct, right? The utility is in price go up. I've always told people, it doesn't really matter how great you think the utility of your asset is. The only thing that matters is can you accumulate the market share of attention? And what usually gets the most market share of attention? It's the number going up, right? And so you are absolutely correct. The utility isn't a number go up. So you mentioned earlier that when you took your profits out of Pepe, that you rotated into Pulse Chain, and it seems like almost all of your plays, at least the ones that we have discussed and that you have shared, have been exclusively Pulse Chain. Why did you choose to stay exclusively on Pulse Chain? Is there something more special about the meme coins on Pulse Chain than, let's say, the meme coins on Solana, which is like the birthing ground of almost every single major meme coin ever created? And then obviously Base is catching up, right? Why choose Pulse Chain over the rest of the other L1s?
Like I said, I had taken the Hex pill kind of early in my journey into crypto, and so naturally, I don't want to say a fan, but I've taken a liking to the ecosystem, and I have been in it since the beginning. So I really like the familiarity and the fundamentals of Pulse Chain. Like I said, I've been in it, so I understand its ebbs and flows. For whatever reason, man, like anytime that I go over to Solana, like I lose. I lose on those plays for whatever reason.
Oh, dude, it's because it's just a bunch of Jeets out there. Dude,
Right.
when you're getting people who are like, I held longer than 3 weeks, and it's like they think that's a big deal. That is something else, right? Like these people are literally cheating their brand new coins in like 3 hours, bro. It's absolutely insane. Whereas
Question for you, Ceno. Because I understand what Nate is saying. When you're playing on Solana, are you playing on Pump.fun? Are you grabbing contracts from Pump?
No.
Okay. Because that would be a simple explanation, right? Because there's a tendency for because there's a bonding curve on Pump.fun, and people tend to cheat immediately once that bonding curve is reached, just to lock in some profits. So I mean, I could have understood, but
that would make sense.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. I think Nate, there's a large degree of truth in what Nate just said. It's definitely much less saturated for for a lot of reasons that we'll probably get into as we talk about the Pulse Chain ecosystem a little bit, but it's highly saturated over there on Solana, and for whatever reason I go over there and I have to come back and lick my wounds. And like Pulse Chain, I've just got a feel for it. I've got my thumb on the pulse, as I would like to joke. So yeah.
Oh, I mean, I think that's extremely valuable, right? So aside from obviously the familiarity, right? That's definitely a big factor, like you said. An ecosystem that you know how to navigate and that you're familiar with will make you more comfortable in engaging in those plays. But a big, I think I don't want to underscore this, is that you mentioned that unlike Solana, Pulse Chain is not quite saturated yet. So I think it would be fair to assume that because you don't have the same kind of saturation, both in the number of people, both in the liquidity in that ecosystem, and also the number of memes, right? So it's a lot easier to identify potential plays that will do better. Is that correct?
Yeah, nailed it. You nailed it. It's another thing that I actually enjoy that I'll bring up is the diversity. So because I think that there's a higher spectrum of like niche audiences that a lot of the memes can appeal to on Pulse Chain. There's like a lot of like Asian, like a lot of Japanese influence, like a lot of anime influence in some of the memes. I think that it's kind of like a purple cow. It makes things a lot easier to stand out in the crowd. And then if you have a fundamental understanding if you've got some, some basic wits about you in regards to technical analysis, then yeah, you can do some damage over here. But it's if I had to summarize, I would say that it's the familiarity for sure that I have with the ecosystem. It's the fundamentals of the ecosystem that make it so appealing. And it's the diversity, right?
Gotcha. Well, so jumping straight into that topic of conversation. So one thing that you mentioned was that a lot. So it seems like you were able to recognize the fact that on Pulse Chain, there's a lot of these different types of influence. Like you mentioned the Asian influence, right? A lot of Japanese influences. There's a lot of anime meme coins, right? Well, I'm sure we'll get into the Poke chain because I know you're heavily invested in that. There's a lot of waifu coins on Pulse Chain, which will appeal very much to the weebs. I'm sure like we got a lot of those in the community. Can you explain to us like what your process is for being able to identify those particular memes that will be successful, right? Because you're obviously able to identify that yes, this particular culture exists on Pulse Chain, and you were able to take advantage of that, right? So can you take us a little bit through your process? Like how do you choose them, right? How do you choose the meme? Like, do you care about the fundamentals, if there are any? Do you care more about community, right? Do you care about market cap? Like, can you take us through the process of how you identify those particular meme coins that you think will be successful?
Yeah, for sure. A lot of everything that you just touched on some really key points. Community is obviously, I would say, the fundamental that you want to check. Nobody, we're speculating on attention. So if nobody cares about your coin, then you've got nothing going for you, which is another argument against utility, right?
Yeah.
So if I had to give you some best practices, I'd say, one, just be smart, like do your due diligence and check for, like, as you get into these things, like check for honeypots. That's where the code is such that you're unable to basically sell once you buy into a coin. And you can there's a checklist on Dex Screener over in like the lower right hand corner. It gives you a bunch of red flags if there's like whitelists on coins or anything that you should be aware of. So just do your due diligence there, right? You want to identify things that have strong communities. If we're dealing with Metcalfe's law here, so you need to in an ideal entry, you're gonna have the most exponential growth if you're able to get in earliest to the move, all right? And then you can kind of watch the community form around you, very similar to what we have here going on with the Roundtable. You can see it. Everybody here we're all getting the sub $1 million market cap entry here. So that's one thing that I definitely look for. Like I said, low market caps as well. That's going to insulate you from a lot of the risk in dealing with something as volatile as crypto, but then like you're going all the way to the end of the risk curve dealing with meme coins. So if you're able to get into something and snipe a low market cap, then that gives you a lot of room for error. Like with my entry into Icarus, I got Icarus at 16 cents, right? And as the thing runs, you don't know which leg up is going to be the top. And So I took some profits at $5, and I was very excited to see the dollar amount, and I went into the chat. I'll tell the story about like how the Icarus play kind of happened. Is I was up one night. I was actually working on an NFT collection, and the Telegram chat starts going off the day after I had made the entry into Icarus, and the Telegram chat starts binging just like you guys might have caught it on the mic a minute ago, and somebody's in the chat like, yo, it's going to fights. It's like, 6-7 messages. Yo, it's pumping. It's going crazy. It's at $4.50. Oh, it's at $5. I'm like, I'm not really paying it any mind, until I see like it's at $5. And then I'm like, all right, what is it? I click. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's Icarus. Icarus is pumping. And I go back to the NFTs and like literally had like a double take. I was like, wait, where did I enter Icarus, right? Like I'd kind of forgotten, and then I'm like, oh wait, I'm actually up big. So I ended up taking profits at $5 and at $7 and at $15 on Icarus. It was like my two big profit takes. And if you get in low, bro, it gave me like so much leeway to be like, okay, I don't care if this is the top of the move or not, like whether it goes to $32 or whether it just stays right here it eventually went to 18. So like wherever it goes, I'm more than fine with it. And then I don't care if my moon bag round trips or not, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So those I think are the most core things that I could give to you. Stop me if you want to redirect me.
Yeah. So so looking for identifying those strong communities with strong narratives, strong market share of attention, getting in at fairly low market caps. How do you determine the strength of the community, right? Is it the size of the Telegram channel? Do they have a big X following? Is it just the memeability? Like, how do you personally identify those things?
All of that, like memeability. Does it another thing is like, does it make sense to you, or does it have some sort of an appeal to an audience, right? Like I said earlier, you're dealing with memetics, and so your memetics are it's the study of how behaviors and how like cultural phenomena spread. And so a meme is not just a funny
picture
that you send in the exactly. It's not a funny picture that you just send in the group chat. It's actually the most rudimentary form of an idea, right? So if it has appeal to you or to another niche audience, right, that's identifiable, that's something that you can leverage to find these things, because basically these things manifest communities, and then they're either manifesting their own attention economy kind of, or they're leveraging one that already exists and capitalizing on that. So that's one thing that you definitely want to try to look for is, appeal to you or an audience. I
do got a question, if you're okay with it. So one of the things that I was doing when it came to the meme coins, right, is I would actually go over to Deck Screener and I would just look up new pairs, right? And I'm looking at everything within the first few hours, right? And obviously there's a lot of rug pulls doing that. I made some money doing it, but at what point do you look at, like, say, a market cap, right? Or even time-wise, at what point do you say this is too early, right? Too quickly made, So maybe you look for coins that are a day out or maybe a week out, right? What's your timeline on those? But then also, what's your market cap? Because some of these coins is like, hey, it's $1,000 market cap, right? Which is ridiculous, or $10,000, 100,000, or you get these $1,000,000 ones, right? So like, when you're searching for these meme coins, what's kind of the range that you're looking at to get in, say, early?
For sure. I've entered on coins that are like as small as, like a 25 or like a 50K market cap before. I got into Pika around $250,000 market cap.
Oh,
I got into Icarus at 16 cents would be 160K market cap. Axis market cap is different because of the tokenomics. It's like in the billions. But yeah, so I've bought things that are, I'll take a stab at anything that's like, 5 mil, all the way down to like kind of 50K or so. Yeah. Did you ask two pieces to that question?
Yeah,
There
the
was
other one is
the
timeline.
timeline, right?
And then the timeline, yeah.
So like 1 minute made, or are you on the minute chart? Are you on the hourly chart? Like, does it need to be
just
out
in
for
there
a
like
week?
scalping the 1 second candles.
Oh my god.
Nah, obviously, like with the Icarus play, I kind of pulled the trigger early on that. Like I said, you kind of have to do your due diligence. I'm very early on looking at like market cap, liquidity. I'm looking at Dex Screener to see, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, like that caution list in the corner. I'm looking to see if, like, how seriously is the person who created it, like how seriously are they taking it? Do they put up, are they
The
do
marketing.
they have their X linked? What's that?
The marketing. That's important.
Yeah, for sure. Like, do they have their X linked to the Dex Screener? Do they have a banner up yet? Like, they should be spamming AI generated artwork. There should be ideally, you want to have like the 3 links on Dex Screener. If you go and you look at the top right corner, there'll be like a banner. They'll have their artwork up, and then you'll see it'll be the X link, the Telegram link, and the website link, right? So you want to see like that they're actually taking it serious. Pull up, see if they're regularly posting on X. See what's going on in the Telegram. Like, are people active and engaged in there? That's huge, right? Like, if that's a huge red flag, like I said, like, it's like if nobody cares about it, if there's like no engagement around it, it's very similar to dating, like to dealing with women from the male perspective, right? A wise man once said that the opposite of love is not hate, but indifference, right? And so even you can look at like the Poke chain. There was a big like kind of cannibalism event going on, maybe like a month and some change ago in the Poke Center. But it's like, that's good because it means that people care enough to actually get on the internet and like beef with random strangers. So you've got something that's attracting eyeballs, right? Like I said, attention economies.
That makes a lot of sense. So far, you've told us the community is important, right? The memeability of the token, right? How much mind space does it take up in people's brains up here? Low market caps. You mentioned anywhere between 5 million and as low as around $30,000 in market cap is probably like good entry points to help insulate you from from like if it goes up significantly, you're not entering at like multi-billion dollar market caps, right? So you're insulated from that kind of downside.
For sure.
And then one of the last points there, I think was really good was the marketing, right? How active is the founder with the marketing, right? how active is the community in marketing? Are they actually going up on Twitter and engaging and beefing with other people, talking about how their meme is the best meme on planet Earth, right? Is the team active in marketing? So like there's a lot of fundamental components that you mentioned there when it comes to being able to identify these solid memes. But how about when it comes to the technicals, right? Like how engaged are you in taking a look at the chart and reading those tea leaves on the chart when you're planning your entries, your exits, right? Like how involved are you? Are you like one of these people who, like Murad, he's not really a technical trader. He's like, believe in something, hold, and then exit at the very end of the bull market, right? Or are you somebody who integrates both the fundamental components of memes and then also the technicals that we do on the chart?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely take a very balanced approach to my overall analysis. As you can tell, like I've just outlined a bunch of the fundamental side of things. I lean very heavily on that. But yeah, the fundamentals, I mean the technicals are just as important. Meme coins are highly volatile, right? Like that's the allure, is that volatility to the upside. It can be a beautiful thing. It can also burn you, right? So you really are playing with fire. You do have to be hands-on. You have to have some brass nads for sure, right? You need balls of steel. You can watch some pretty gnarly swings in the dollar value of your portfolio if you're gonna take that route. So it's not for the frail or the weak-hearted, that's for sure. But I lean a lot on actually the community, like the analysis that you and Z do for the 60-day cycle is an absolute cheat code, right? Because I don't have to be, and because of that, I've been able to dedicate more time away from charts and kind of have a better life balance and not just be stuck in a room, absorbing all this blue light, stalking charts. But yeah, I do have like a system that I use to kind of keep my charts in check. And so
yeah, like if somebody wanted to approach meme coin technical analysis, could you give what are some of the simple ones? Because you said you like to take a balanced approach. So like what are some of the simple indicators or processes that you go through on the chart that would help somebody who also wants to kind of take a similar approach, right? Somebody who maybe doesn't have a lot of time to invest in the charting, or like you wants to take a more balanced approach.
Yeah, like I just mentioned, I would rely very heavily on Lucas cycles. As we know, Bitcoin is king. So that's going to be the crux of how you're going to make your decisions. What coins do you choose to hold? Like, for instance, the past couple weeks here, the dip that we've been experiencing, like I mentioned, I lean a lot on the 60-day cycle analysis that you guys are doing on the Telegram calls and on the Sunday shows here on YouTube. And then I'm doing my own analysis. Obviously you're looking for basic patterns, like you're looking for flags, you're looking for cup and handles. And then I like to try to identify ranges in a meme coin, because a lot of the times you're dealing with coins that are so new that you kind of have to go to lower time ranges and kind of like zoom in. And so what I'll do is I'll take and grab like the line tool on Dex Screener, and I'll throw a line on the chart. I'll make it bright yellow so that it's very obvious, easy to see. And I'll just start from the bottom of the range, and I'll identify not like day one, like 0, but I'll identify like the first bottom of the range and I'll just I'll duplicate that line. Cheat code for you, Jay, Control, and then like grab any indicator, right? It'll duplicate it on the screen.
Nice.
But yeah, so you just, I'll duplicate it and find the key support levels. I want to have like, 4 or 5 zones or like 4 or 5 quadrants that I can visually identify, and just kind of, oh man, apologies. Now we got the spicy spicy memes doing crazy.
You are just fine.
Yeah, which by the way, if you guys are not
through, you guys don't hear that beat? Am I good?
Ed, don't worry about it. We can keep going.
It's fine.
Okay, cool.
It's fine.
Okay, no, this is crazy.
See, here's the thing. If you guys are not in the Degen Roundtable Telegram channel, what are you doing? As Ceno is right here saying that there's a ton of really good information in there. You absolutely have to get in there. And there's also, there's this particular room. All right, it's called.
Yeah, tell Jesse to stop spamming the chat.
Yeah, it's always him too. It's always him.
It's always him.
And it'll be at like 2 or 3 in the morning. Like the joint will be going crazy. Just doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. I'm like, bro.
You guys know, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but you can turn off notifications on everything. You don't have to listen to them. It's like you can put it on silent. You can mute it. You can. It is. That's one of the things. Quick little life hack. Now we're gonna make this about me for a minute. I've turned off notifications on everything except for calling, so that like there's nothing in the world that can bother me. Like, if you guys tag me, I'll get to it when I get to it. If you have something urgent, call me. If you don't have my phone number, well, ask me for it. And if I decide that you get a phone number, then I'll give it to you. But like, I'll tell you guys, like, if there's something that you need to know about, then let that be the only thing that notifies you. And if there's, because like, we live in a very real world. And if you want to focus on meme coins, then let the meme coin channels be the things that feed you your information. The more noise that's in your mind, that's in your life, like the harder it's going to be for you to stay on your purpose and everything. So that's my advice to the folks at home and to anyone listening.
Word
like,
of wisdom. Yep.
Mute everything. It's great. Life is so peaceful. My mother gets mad at me sometimes, but she knows my phone number. She can call me. So shout out to you, Mom, if you're listening. Anyways,
the only chat that all of the meme chats and Telegram that I'm active in, they're all muted. The Degen Roundtable is the only one that I have my notifications on, and like close friends.
Yep.
So shout out
Excellent.
to you guys.
Coming back to your idea about
so I was gonna say that I was gonna say like I like to identify, like have like 4 or 5 ranges that I can just visually look at and then get a grasp of, okay, the market is giving me a quote of this price, and then like you can look and say like, like if you look at like Pulse Chain, for instance, you'll see like there's an easily identifiable range between like a bottom of like roughly 30% of day one SAC, and then around like 50% of day one SAC. There's an obviously identifiable range in there, and then you can kind of look and just say like, how likely is it that the market gives me this price again? Obviously, we just did like a double bottom, went back and retested the lows on it. It's like at this stage in the bull market, how likely do I think that it is that I get another stab at those prices in PLS, right? So that's one thing I like to do, and then I like to use that in conjunction with Fibonacci, just heavy fib levels. And I'd recommend to anybody who wants to level up their meme game that everybody's got a different financial situation. Everybody's got different obligations in life. Everybody's got different risk tolerance for various reasons. And I just recommend to everybody that you implement some sort of a system, some sort of best practices, like a protocol. A lot of people like to like take profit or like take their principal out once they're up like a 2 or 3x. I'd highly recommend, like I was just saying, take profits based upon fib levels, and you know, the highest level technical indicator that I could offer anybody is, Jay's probably very familiar with it. It's the lot of money test. I know that, you know, the peanut brands on the panel, probably you're not hip, but so the lot of money test, right? If you look at any bag in your portfolio and you go, "Oh, shit, that's a lot of money," probably just take profits on it, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, just kind of like some common sense stuff, right? But that would be my recommendation to anybody, is just outline a process based, you know, you don't have to do any crazy technical analyst and, like, you know, stock charts, but you definitely need to outline and understand, like, the ranges of your of whatever coin that you're going to deal in. And then, like I said, pay attention to those Fibonacci levels, man. Like the golden ratio, it's powerful. It shit shows up in, you know, all across the world for a reason. And then, yeah, last lot of money test, man. Like if you look at a bag and you see there's a lot of money in there, bro, that's probably your sign to take profit. I knew that it was time for me to take profit on Icarus when I saw the dollar amount, went back to the chart to, like, analyze where I thought the move could potentially go, and then FaceTimed, like, my closest friend, right? Again, it's like 1 a.m, you know, FaceTimed him, and I'm just like, I pull up Pateas and max out my bag, like as if I'm going to trade it, so you can see the dollar amount of it. And I'm just like, I've got the screen pulled up. I'm like, yo, check this out, bro. Like, look at this dollar amount right here in my bag. And obviously I'm in the chat talking about it. Yo, my bag is doing well. Jay jumped in, like, you know, he's like, brother, please, for the love of God, take profits right now. You know what I mean? And but by the time I had messaged that, I had already cashed out some, because I knew that, like, that's sort of an emotional response. It's like, that's your indicator right there. That's a technical indicator for you. So
Yeah.
So you're identifying ranges as potential entry points. If I could summarize, you're identifying these ranges or potential support where price is accumulating as entry points, and for your exit points, you're using, like, the Fibonacci, in particular, like the golden ratio.
yeah, for sure. Taking profits on a fib has not led me astray on any of my biggest plays thus far. Like I said, it's difficult to kind of, like, predict where things go, and how fast things move. You need to have, like, some sort of a protocol. You know what I mean? So ranges, fibs, a lot of money tests.
Simple. Okay, to kind of round off the conversation here, because we're coming up on the 1 hour mark. Could you let the folks know what are some of the particular meme coins that you're taking a look out for, right, in the future? Maybe it's still in development. Meme coins that you're currently in that you think are going to do well, whether they're new coins or older ones that you think still have a lot of potential to run in the future. Could you reveal some of the sauce for the folks? You don't have to reveal everything, but some plays that you're taking a look at.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for, like, a, you know, small fee of, like, 1 ETH or something, I could probably, like, you know, let you guys know.
Let's do this now. Let's do like a low. I mean, we could do micro, but, you know, let's stick to low to mid. Like, let's say, you know, somewhere around the $100,000 to $500,000 like market caps. We'd consider low. A mid cap, like, in, you know, maybe like $500,000, 1 million, and then let's go, like, some of your large caps, like approaching 500 million, close to $1 billion.
Yeah, so starting low, the excuse me, the obvious culprit would be like some of the PokeChain coins. You're gonna find some of those at like under 100K market cap, right? So those are those are some things that even if you don't want to jump all the way down the rabbit hole of memes, that's something that you could maybe take like $250,000, $500,000, 1 million pulse, and like throw it at one of those, see what it does, right? If you have conviction in the pulse chain ecosystem, then looking around at some of these like small cap things like that, if you extrapolate what the market caps are going to look like, it's probably worth it. In that like mid cap range that you just defined, a good one for you guys at the Roundtable would be Peasy, right? So Peasy is a Pepe derivative, and if one of you guys wants to, you could pull it up in screen share, like the deck screener, so the audience could see it. But Peasy is like I said, a Pepe derivative, and
What's the ticker, Nels?
PEEZY.
PEEZY.
And so he is Pepe with a white do-rag and a backwards cap, right? So he's just like gangster Pepe, right? But I got into that like around probably like 200K or so, somewhere in there. I got into that very early. Nate mentioned earlier pulling up the new pairs on deck screener. That's actually how I found Peasy. Was just one random day, and like I don't do that often. I do not recommend it. I honestly I don't recommend that you get too degenerate. Like I mentioned, you have to have some sort of sense about you. But yeah, that's a recent degenerate play that I've made. Peasy, yeah, like I said, it's a Pepe derivative. He's just gangster Pepe, and I saw it and it just clicked. I was like, yeah, this one right here hits.
Will, I've got the oh, there we go. Thank you, Mrs. Producer. So here is the chart for Peasy. Let's see what we got. So we got $734,000. Okay. So, and you said you got it at about 200K?
Yeah, I had taken some profits on that boy a little while ago. So I'm happy at the retrace here. And I did the same thing. The same protocol that I outlined. I found it early. I got in. I found a range, and I didn't even, for Peasy, I didn't even do any Fibonacci. It was just a lot of money tests, right? I just looked at my bag and how much I was up, and I said, "Yep, this is time." Kept the moon bag, and yeah, it's one of those sub 1 million market plays that is, it's primed for you guys to take advantage of.
I mean, I do like how this chart looks, like Niles talked about earlier in the stream, right? Check out the range that's formed here. So if you're somebody who's wanting to enter it, right, this is exactly the type of setup that you want to see, right? Something that holds its lows, or currently trading around the lows, doesn't want to give up support, still under $1 million in market cap, decent liquidity. So yeah, I mean, this fits the bill of something that if you were inclined to trade or to enter a position, right, this is the kind of setup that you want to see, especially at this point of the market, right? Another thing that I'm seeing here now is that it hasn't really made a move off of this bottom.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin is already running.
Right.
So that means it's a laggard.
Yeah.
I've seen guys mentioning Peasy too. That Okay, so I don't know, Ceno, if you kind of pick up on this, but generally, when I start seeing people talking about it, like, because I'm deep in all the communities, right? And so as soon as I start seeing these things popping up all over the place, that's when I go and take a look, and then that's when I start getting interested in buying into a meme, right? And I've been, excuse me, I started seeing PZ popping up. So yeah, as soon as you said that, I'm like, this is interesting. So yeah, might be a good play actually. Might wanna get into that one.
All right, now there's one more to round us off. Like a large cap.
A larger cap.
9-inch.
Yeah, no, that's on that's on the list for sure. I'm super bullish on 9-inch and what's been going on, especially with the whole like I don't know if you guys have seen what's been going on with Pateas. They've had like they've been accused of stealing from people on their conversions, but
yeah, fees and stuff.
yeah, but 9 wait, did you say 9-inch
9-inch, yeah.
or 9 mil? Sorry,
9 mil.
9-inch.
Yeah, I was like
9
9 mil is the one with the controversy.
yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, my opinion, I'm bullish on 9 mil, but I'd have to throw Axis out there. It's not because of the tokenomics. It's if somebody wants to look and let me know what the market cap on Axis is right now, but it's in the billions. The last time I looked at it, I think it was around like 24 or 25 billion, somewhere in that ballpark. That's one that's like a larger market cap. That's actually my first big play. Back when I was at the Soul Suck 9 to 5, I actually I had notifications set on Deck Screener on my phone for my position in Axis, and Axis like blew the roof off of like where I was trying to exit and take some profit. So I had to actually like leave work. I like dipped out for probably like 45 minutes and I came back to make that trade. So that's like the first big play that I hit. Shout out to Axis Alive for creating that token. That one has a special place in my heart. That's like my first big play, which actually gave me the capital to make the Icarus play. Right. So that's like
Beautiful.
It was like life-changing.
So, compounding, man. Compounding.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's 20 billion, by the way, the market cap.
20 bill. Cool.
It's not too shabby.
Yeah, cooled off a little bit. Yeah, and I saw it just got a nice little dip that somebody probably made out very well on if you scooped up that nice little red candle there a few days ago.
Yeah, one thing to note about Axis too is don't fade that one, because now that Axis has created a live, it's literally a burning tool for Axis. Burning / staking. It's not actual staking, it's committing, but it does hold the token. So therefore, obviously that takes away selling pressure. But yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, we are just a little bit past the 1 hour mark. I'd like to be respectful of everybody's time. So Ceno, thank you once again for joining us on this wonderful Wednesday evening and spending some time here with the rest of the Degens and giving us some of your knowledge and some of your wisdom. I'm sure a lot of people are going to get quite a considerable amount of take-home points that they can implement in their own strategy if they were so inclined to do so. Why don't you tell everybody what you got coming up in the future, where they can find you, and we'll take it from there.
I will have a NFT that I'll be releasing at some point this year. I do not have a hard.
I've seen some of the samples, man. They look dope.
Yeah, I have.
Right up my alley.
Yeah. I thought you might like them. Yeah, I've got a few irons in the fire. over on the NFT side of things. So yeah, if when I get all the details, get all my ducks in a row, I will be in the roundtable with all of that information. Yeah, and if anybody ever wanted to, support your boy, that would be a way to do it. But you guys can find me at Sounds by Ceno on Instagram, and just fair warning, you will find absolutely nothing crypto related over there, just music. So if you want some good tunes, pull up. If not, crypto related inquiries, hit me in Telegram. Same
Excellent.
handle.
Thank you, Mr. Ceno. We appreciate you spending this time with us. Mr. Agent J, where can the folks find you and what have you got going on in the near future?
You can find me, as always, in our Telegram channel, right? Scan that QR code. If you want to, meet other like-minded individuals like Ceno, who are working hard every single day, every single night in order to create financial freedom for ourselves and help each other along the way, right? That's where you'll find me. You can also find me on Instagram at agent_J Schroth, on X at _P90 Hex. However, you're going to find me most active in the Telegram, or I will probably drop another. I wanted to stream today, but my goodness, a lot of product came in, a lot of customers that I had to attend to. So that takes priority, unfortunately. But go into the Telegram exclusive channel. We did a stream yesterday. Chew on that to keep you tided over until I stream again, probably sometime tomorrow. Like the damn video, comment, subscribe, jump in the Telegram chat. Nate, where can they find you? What you got coming up in the future?
Yeah, you can find me in the Degen Roundtable Telegram channel. You can always find me streaming here on this channel, which like and subscribe, press the belly button and all. Also, tomorrow I do have a show with Fast Abdul for P Stability that is coming out, and that's going to be on the Ascending Man channel. So we're going to deep dive into that one, right? It's a little bit of a funny little take on the whole PDI narrative and making it stable, right? And you know what? I love it. It's great. And so, because of that, I just had to make a video on it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yes, you can catch actually the same time as this particular show, right? But tomorrow. So, yeah, we're going to be doing that. Aside from that, I want to respect everyone's time. So take us out, Will.
All right, excellent. Real quick, Mrs. Producer, before I give my little thing at the very end, it's time for one more round of chat motherfucking shout-outs. So if you would be so kind as to pull up the chats and I will take us out. We got Mr. Frank White in the house saying, bang, bang. What does that say? False gang. Bang, bang, false gang. We're all false, ladies and gentlemen. That's awesome. I don't know where you're going with that, Frank White, but I fucking love it. We are all false here on the Degen Roundtable. Nothing but falsehoods. Next up, we got Conspiracy Crypto, my good IRL friend Ramon saying, what's up, fam? What's up to you too, Mr. Ramon? Good to see you, buddy. Guys, go check out his channel. He does some excellent crypto conspiracy videos and lots of great talks, and he's a good person. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Conspiracy Crypto. We love to see you, broski. After that, we've got Crypto Stylist. Good morning, Degens. Good morning to you too, ma'am. I hope you are having an excellent day over there in the part of the world where you are at, where it is morning right now, which if my I'm pretty sure that's somewhere over in the Far East or something along the Pacific or in the Central Asia zone. I have no idea how time zones work, but good morning to you, Crypto Stylist. It's good to see you. Welcome to the chats. Glad we could have you here with us tonight. And then finally, in our chat shoutouts, we've got none other than Mr. Kenturian 54X, one of my favorite Bush pilots. Love to see you, broski. What's up, Degens? What's up with you two, Mr. Kenturian? Glad we could have you and glad you could make it here and join us. Mrs. Nate, that is all of the chat shoutouts, if I am not mistaken, is it not? All right, sweet. That is all of the chat shoutouts. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crypto degenerates, ducks and squirrels, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Will Stevenson. You can find all of my socials off of the link will.pls.fyi. That's where you can find my Twitter, my Facebook, my Instagram, my Telegram, everything. For those of you guys that are catching us on the replay or who are catching us in the audio only, if you want to join the Degen Roundtable Telegram, what you need to do is you need to click, or you need to go up into your URL bar on the top of your web browser and type in t.me/DRT DRT join now. Again, that is Delta Romeo Tango join now. That will bring you on over into our Telegram chat. Another thing you guys can do if you're watching us is you can scan that little QR code down there on the bottom center of the page over right next to Ceno. And that's how you get in. That's how you find me. That's how you join the DRT. For those of you guys that are brand new and have never seen us before, we stream every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday starting at 8 p.m. Eastern over here, right where you're seeing us right now on youtube.com/@Degen Roundtable. That's all the news that I got. Oh, actually, correction. There will not be book club on Friday. So I know I just said we stream every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. This Friday is an exception. I have a wedding that I'm attending, and Zenith, the other book club host, has a function that he's attending. So there is no book club for this Friday, but we will still be doing our Sunday show. So if you guys want to catch the news of what's been happening in the recent week for cryptocurrency and just macroeconomics and things in general, then you guys can catch us here at 8 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. We generally stream for about 2 hours. So that's what we got going on in the near future. That's where you can find me. That's where you can find all of these gentlemen. I want to thank all of you so much for spending your valuable time with us here on the Degen Roundtable. As Agent J often says, we know that time is your most valuable asset, and we appreciate you spending that time here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Will Stevenson, but more importantly, you have been watching the Degen Roundtable. Mrs. Producer, go ahead and get that trigger finger ready, because it's time to remind all the folks at home to remember to Degen responsibly.